With the NBA draft lottery coming up Sunday, the question now to the Chicago Bulls franchise and its fan base is, could the Chicago Bulls in fact change their summer plan if they were to get lucky in the draft lottery? We're going to be tackling that question in today's video. This is Rico Greenhowe, and this is another episode of Bulls Digest. And before we jump into it, I want to let you know that 78.8% of you guys that watch the videos are not subscribed to the channel. So make sure that you go ahead and you hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with the latest news and happenings around your Chicago Bulls, guys. And let's jump into the topic of the day here, which is getting some NBA lottery luck could help determine the Bulls summer plans. Very interesting. And so as we jump into this thing, here's a little history. Guys, you already know we were eliminated here out of the play-in tournament for the second straight year. And we own a 9.4% chance to move into the top 4 picks in this upcoming draft and a 2% chance to win the lottery here. Last time that we actually went ahead and prevailed was 2008. We had a 1.7% chance. We got Derrick Rose here. Obviously, this draft does not have a Victor Wembanyama type of player, guys. And so, that is the question. Does a lottery pick change the way that our VP and GM could shape out the roster? All right, and so with that being said, guys, I think that no, it's not going to matter what type of pick that we have in the draft coming up this year, because to be honest with you, we still have to make some tough decisions either way you look at this. But the one thing that I do love about this is that I think it's actually beneficial for the Chicago Bulls to not be in the lottery. And so I'm going to explain that here. And so I just think that when we look at this, and I'm going to throw up some players that we're linked to and also some players that I think could be steals here. And this is via theringer.com, where they've done player profiles moving into the draft, guys. And so what I think about this draft class is this. This is a 2013 draft to me. And what that means is this is where you see an Anthony Bennett, a Cody Zeller, an Alex Len, a Victor Oladipo go in the first 5 selections or something like that. And in pick 15, that's where you see a guy like Giannis come off the board. Pick 11, that's where you're going to see Michael Carter-Williams, who is Rookie of the Year, come off the board. I think that the real value in the draft is going to be after you get out of the lottery. And quite honestly, I think that another value in this particular draft is going to be the players that are not going to be drafted. I think that this is an excellent time for you to pick up an undrafted free agent and that undrafted free agent become a star. I really think that this is going to be that draft, guys. And so we already know who we're associated with. And so let's talk about that. I'm super excited about this. And I know, we've been linked to some draft picks, but I think it makes sense for us to tackle size in this draft. And I think that there's a lot of size that is going to come to us. And first, let's start off with Zach Edey. I think that Zach Edey is a great fit for us. I think that the big man is coming back. Look at what Denver does. Look at what Minnesota is doing. And even look at what Cleveland has with the 2 bigs when they're healthy. They have been quite effective out there, guys. And so bigs are becoming a premium, and they don't have to necessarily stretch the floor. And I love the fact that they go ahead and they compare him to a Zubac type of player, guy. This guy is a highlight, just like they said, an interior scorer, and the post presence is there. And I think that he has the potential to develop a jump shot. And I think in my just looking at him, I think he could turn into a Yao Ming type of player. I think he can definitely hit that mid-range jumper, and I think that his foot speed can come along as well. Another player that we are linked to possibly getting, I think, is going to be Donovan Cleveland here that you see on the screen. He played for UConn. Massive interior presence, just like it says. I love the fact that they say he's like a Roy Hibbert. This was a guy that was a force for Indiana, played with Paul George when they rose up, Indiana, the Pacers, when they were very good back then. Shot blocking, interior scoring, off-ball defense, rebounding. I'm going to say that again. That's something the Chicago Bulls severely struggled at. So the height is there in this draft, guys, and these guys are not necessarily linked to being top 5 picks. So I think that size is going to fall back to us. Now, another player that I think that this player to me is a player that nobody is talking about really. And these are the type of players that I think where you're going to find some value down the line. A guy like Tristan da Silva, okay, here's a guy, you're looking at this on the screen. He's 6'9", 220. Guys, this guy is going to be a problem. I know that they have him as a Cal Anderson type of player, and I know we're linked to Cody Williams, but I think that this guy was better than Cody Williams, and I think that, look, you're going to get a guy that's obviously a spacer. He's got the versatility, the feel of the game, the off-ball defense was there as well. This guy reminds me a lot of a Luol Deng, but a bit more athletic. This is a guy that has played overseas. He's really gone under the radar. And if you looked at Colorado's team, this guy was a piece that they absolutely needed to make the run that they made. So this is a guy that I'm talking about that you can get some real value in the draft, and he's not going to be a top pick, guys. Other draft selections that we possibly could go ahead and take a look at here is a guy like Jalen Bridges. And again, we don't necessarily have to draft him. He may be a guy that we pick up perhaps in free agency, but look at this. A Royce O'Neal crossed with a Mikal Bridges. Would we love a Mikal Bridges type of player out there? Absolutely. Look at this. Perfect role player. Perfect teammate, 3-and-D, skill flashes, higher upside. We love that catch and shoot threat, off the ball mover, which is what we need. We don't need that stagnant offense. We need to get up and down the floor. 6'7", guys, want to throw that out there. So there is height. There's defenders out there. There are gems out there, and another player, which is the last player I think that, really we could possibly go ahead and steal. And again, these are players that either they're going to fall to us or these are players that we could get after the draft. But look at this guy, a Ryan Dunn type of player, 6'8". Supposedly, he's the best defender in the draft at 7'1" with his wingspan. Look at this, the hustle. He's got the dog in him, the on-ball defense, an interior scorer. This is the stuff that nobody's talking about. And unfortunately, guys, I don't know if we're going to make this happen. You know me? I just don't know it because I don't trust our GM. I don't trust our VP. And I'm just showing you some names out here, guys, that if we miss in those top 5, that's okay because I don't really believe in the top 5. And I think that there is some value that's going to fall in our lap. But it's like, are the Chicago Bulls going to make that pick a pick where you get a guy that can come in and can be serviceable right now? Clearly we need height. Clearly we need rebounding. Clearly we need an interior presence. And there's a lot of selections that I've thrown up here, guys, that would fit that build. And if we strike out on Patrick Williams, I've also shown you possible players that can come in right now and perhaps fill that void. But will our GM and our VP do this? I don't know. And so if you're asking me, will a lottery pick help us change out the way our direction of our franchise goes? I'm going to say no. Because either way, even if they were in the top 4 or 5, I don't think the Chicago Bulls are going to get it right anyway. And they have so much to do in the offseason. Dude, they can't even get it right as far as moving Lavine. So no, I don't think a top draft pick in this selection is going to definitely move us in the right direction one way or the other. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you feel like the Chicago Bulls need a lottery pick in order to somehow shape the direction of the franchise in the right direction? Or do you agree with some of the players that I've thrown up here? Do you feel like there's real value towards the middle of the round in the first round and after the draft is over? Do you feel like some of these players that I've thrown up could fit with the Chicago Bulls, their timeline, and possibly a young asset to go along with Kobe White and Dosunmu that we can build around. Let me know what you guys think. This is Rico Greenhowe, another episode of Bulls Digest. And as usual, go Bulls. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.